don't know what are they doing here. But with Joe soloing out for the album, that part works for me.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool.
That part works for me.
Now, the next song, all right, you explain this to me, Dave, because you have the CD. I don't remember. Is this a hidden track or is it a bonus track? What would you call this?
Well, both. Because... Well, it's a bonus track because I bought mine at Walmart. So they would have a sticker that said includes the bonus track, which is called No Change. But if you look at the artwork anywhere else, it's not listed. There's no track 11. If it wasn't for the Walmart sticker, which I saved, you would never know that No Change is on.
Well, this is right. Okay, so that's very interesting. So now I should note that I bought mine at Best Buy. There's a whole thing with Best Buy. Best Buy had a whole, I don't know if you guys remember this. Okay, so do you remember back in, I guess 10 years ago, when bands were like hooking up with stores to sell an album? They would almost like, remember when like the Eagles or AC/DC, they would like hook up with like a Walmart or a Target or whatever, and they would like, okay, we're going to promote, we're going to like be in on this, and we're going to give you the bonus track, and you're going to have the special packaging, and you're going to sell it in a special display in Target only. And it's like, this was back in the day when the record industry was trying anything and everything to try to get people to buy albums, because at this time, as you can tell, I mean, look at the drop in sales from Chickenfoot 1 to Chickenfoot 3, right? Like the first one went gold, the next one sold 42,000 copies. That's insane. Okay, just to give you guys a taste, like Van Halen 3 went gold. Okay, in fact, I think it might have sold like even like 700,000 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
no, don't be ridiculous.
You don't think so? I heard that though.
You heard that from who? Gary Sharon?
I heard that from somebody. I'm trying to remember where I heard that from. Gary Sharon. It definitely went gold. I know that.
No, it did go gold, but I feel like it just eked out
did it
going
eke
gold.
out? Okay.
I don't think it went gold until after the tour was over.
Yeah, no, it was definitely after the tour. Yeah, it was definitely after the tour. So anyway, the bottom line is Best Buy was like hooking up with Chickenfoot, and Dave, they had so many leftover Chickenfoot 3s. People were throwing them around like Frisbees. I mean, it's clear that Best Buy over-ordered. They thought this was going to be like a huge album, and they were sitting around like stale M&Ms after Halloween. I mean, it was like unfucking believable how many Chickenfoot 3s were around. It became like a joke. It was almost like
But that's the funny part, because I would not have bought it at Walmart if there wasn't the bonus track.
Right.
I mean, I would not have gone out of my way to do that.
But I think something tells me that sticker with the bonus track is what was driving people to buy that there, because I don't remember there being a sticker on the Best Buy. I could be wrong, but...
Did Best Buy have the bonus track?
You know, I gotta be honest with you, I can't remember, because for this podcast I listened to it on Spotify, and then I went to YouTube for the bonus track. However, I'm trying to remember. I mean, it wasn't track listed on there, but they did have something special. But if I remember correctly, it was more like a packaging thing. Oh, you know what it was, Dave? It came with a special DVD, which had, like, behind the scenes, the music video for Bigfoot, like a making of Chickenfoot 3. And it had, like, it was like that kind of thing. Anyway, so the bottom line is no change. Here's a clip. Now, this is the, whatever you want to call it, the bonus track, the hidden bonus track, whatever. I'm not a big fan of hidden bonus. It's like, put it on the album or don't put it on the album. Like, enough with this hide-and-go-seek bullshit. Listen, this song is not really strong lyrically, but I'll tell you what. I will take this song and swap it out for Come Closer any motherfucking day of the week. So do me a favor and take Come Closer and put it further, and then please put in No Change. I would at least swap that out, and I would have changed the order of the album a bit better. I would have moved up Bigfoot, moved up Dubai Blues, and, done something to try to maybe shake up the album a little, and maybe done a little bit of a... I guess it's hard to complain about the cover when it won an award. You have to remember what an album cover is. An album cover is to sell the album. You know what I mean? Like, it was a very plain, boring cover. And the debut album wasn't exactly the most exciting cover in the world, but that was the debut, okay? They had to do
that had a heat sensor thing. Like, you touched it, and then,
I know.
like... because it was like black, and then the band would appear and all that stuff.
But this whole thing, the lyrics, they lied about Bin Laden, they lied about Elvis, they lied about Cobain. I mean, listen, I would have taken this as an interesting instrumental at this point. I also feel like the guitar's a little low in the mix here, and another song here that had potential, but not a really strong lyrical ideas. Sammy, I really feel, I don't know what it is, and I swear to God, I would, love to ask Sam, like, why did you not put in the effort with Chickenfoot? Like, why did you walk away from Chickenfoot? Maybe he got a little thrown off by Chad not being 100% committed and all that kinds of thing, but Joe is so into it. If you're not going to be with Eddie Van Halen, okay, and you get Joe Satriani in your lap, dude, you gotta be kidding me. Sammy's just stepping in shit wherever he goes when it comes to guitarists. He goes from Ronnie Montrose to fucking Eddie Van Halen to Joe Satriani. I mean, like, who gets to play with these amazing guitarists like this?
I know.
It's absolutely insane. What did you think of this song, Dave? What was your opinion of it?
Well, you know what? It still holds true today. I mean, even more so than ever.
Yeah, that's
so.
True.
I mean, I think it's still applicable. But I agree, it should have been on the album proper. I thought it definitely held up with anything else on there.
Yeah.
It's funny how one of the better songs is a bonus track.
Yeah.
Although, again, Sammy, he's either all in, when he's got some kind of social comment to make, he's all in.
Yeah.
But it's not the worst thing he's done.
Oh, no.
It's one of the better social commentary songs.
No, I know.
He's done.
Yeah, that's fine. Now, I also wanted to note, there is also did you hear about this, Dave? It was a classic rock fan pack that came with live tracks. It had, like, Down the Drain and Oh Yeah from the first album, and then Lighten Up and Something's Gone Wrong from this album, and that's sort of interesting. I thought that was...
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I did read something about that. Yeah,
so as an overall wrap-up on this album, Chickenfoot it's a heartbreak for me. I love this band, and I find them musically superior to The Circle, to be honest with you. I always felt...
Oh, yeah, no, I hear you. I agree.
Yeah, Sam's heart was never fully in this band, where Joe Satriani was totally engaged. Michael Anthony's backing vocals are not fully utilized. Perhaps they were afraid of sounding too much like Van Hagar because of that. Because once you put Sam and Mike's like harmonies together, it just has that sound. His bass playing is solid as always, and he's clearly held back though a little bit. Michael Anthony. Chad Smith plays phenomenal, but he's like half in the band. You know what I mean? Like, his focus is clearly to Chili Peppers. He's the only one in the group that has the allegiance to another band. I think Sammy really gave up on this band after he saw the sales weren't there, and also he couldn't rely on his Montrose, Van Halen, and solo catalog. So all of those songs are sort of locked up because they weren't going to be played in Chickenfoot. Like I said, once I spoke to Satriani, which you'll hear after this discussion, he was really saddened by the death of this band, and he says in the interview that he really feels it's really all Sammy, plus he seems to enjoy the dynamic of being in a band. And I wanted to also note, when I made my whole plea about Joe's solo material, Dave noted, he's not that kind of guitarist that just goes off. He has song structure, and he has choruses even though there's no lyrics. So there's a constant melody. His guitar line performs the melody that the vocal would normally do, and then he also has his guitar wizardry on top of that. But now, will we ever see Chickenfoot resurrected? I think it's doubtful. The band had the balls, like I said, to put out a best of with 2 albums in 2017.
Well, that was just an excuse to release a song.
Yeah, which was Divine.
They had a new
Termination.
name.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They have a mix of the best of and live on there. And now my favorite tracks from this album are probably a Bigfoot, Last Temptation, and Dubai Blues. I love those. A second favorite is probably Up Next, right under Dubai Blues, or if not matching it. Where do you stand, Dave? What's your overall take on this?
I wonder if Sam just could not keep up with Joe, because Joe puts in a lot of work on his album. There's a lot of structure.
Yeah.
I remember reading from Sam that Joe would chart everything and map it out, and Sam's not that guy. Sam's just like, all right, we're going to play this song, you know? I mean,
yeah, I know.
That's what he does. I do also agree that because sales weren't there, that's why. And I think Sam had said that in a subsequent article somewhere, is that the sales weren't there and he's not going to waste his time if it's not worth the money, which is interesting because then he talks about the other side of his mouth, how he doesn't care about money. No. But apparently with Chickenfoot, he does. Yeah. On the whole, the album is good, but Chickenfoot, either the first one or the second one, I really don't go out of my way to listen to them too often. It's not that it's bad, but it's not that it's great either. I do like this album more than the first album.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like I'm in the minority with that because I feel like most people like the first album more because it rocks harder. But I just feel like the songs are better and the structure is better. There are some goofs along the way. It's a good listen. It's one of those albums when I do go back and I listen to it, I'll go, oh, yeah, I forgot. That's pretty good. But, like, by the second or third listen, I'm like, all right, I've heard enough. I'm good. I'm done. I'm going to move on to something else. I do agree with you that Michael Anthony's background vocals, I mean, they're there. But, I don't know, maybe there was a magic in Van Halen.
They're not prominent. It's clear that they're almost staying away from that Sammy Mike blend because it sounds like Van Halen, or at least Van Hagar.
Because there's magic in those vocals.
I know.
And to stay away from that would just be like, all right, well, I guess, those guys couldn't do what they did because Ed wasn't around, and, he was the other background vocalist for Van Halen.
Yeah. Yeah. Something tells me, Dave, though, the whole bottom line is Sammy had to walk away from his catalog. That's what I think. That's what I really think. It's like he wants to have the war chest of Van Halen, solo hits, Montrose, and pull out whatever he wants to play live. I mean, let's be honest, that's what he's doing now. If he's not playing Montrose, he's playing Van Halen. If he's not playing Van Halen, he's playing solo. If he's not doing that, he's playing Zeppelin. I mean, it's like, you really can't go wrong with a set list like that in terms of touring. You know what I mean? And I think
that's true.
With Chickenfoot, when you're not an established band and you're starting something from ground zero, you're pushing uphill. You're pushing uphill. And you're dealing with a drummer that's in and out, in and out, in and out. So I think that even though Kenny Aronoff was phenomenal on the drums, and what a player Kenny is. He's just one of my all-time favorite drummers. Hits so goddamn hard. I actually met him. I did an interview with Kenny, if you guys want to check out from my other podcast, the Rock Quarry. It was the first interview I did on there. He is so fucking cool. That guy, he's got incredible stories, and he has a memoir that I love. It's called Sex, Drums, and Rock and Roll. It's just like an interesting memoir. He's played with like everybody from like Bon Jovi to, like I said, Melissa Etheridge to John Mellencamp to John Fogerty. Like, he's done like a lot of stuff. And let me tell you something. He is on the new Joe Satriani album, Shapeshifting. So we talk about that as well in the interview because they reunited it. Joe put him in his band for that album, so he obviously did well there. So, but interesting though, that do you think we'll ever see Chickenfoot again, Dave, or you think that's it?
I don't know. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
I really don't think so. One of the great things and frustrating things at the same time was seeing the band live. Like we talked about, for their last tour,
right,
they did great. They would jam out the songs a little more, and it sounded fantastic. They played really well. But on the same flip of the coin, it's like, come on, guys. You can't do like one or two Van Halen songs.
Oh, yeah, or throw
like
a Joe Sat song in, throw in a Chili Peppers song.
Or do a Satch song that actually has a vocal on it.
Yeah,
like you could do Satch's Big Bad Moon and knock that out of the park.